For thousands of years, our ancestors honored the summer solstice. Of course, not only the summer solstice, also other major parts of the year. From this point on, days are getting shorter and colder, but we need to reflect and stop for a moment, think about what it means today for us and for us individually, and what it meant for our ancestors. Look at this beautiful tree. I'm looking at it already for half an hour, more or less, planning to come here, sit a bit in its shade. Let's see, it's half dried and half alive. And what is interesting, there are birds flying around. This seems to be their hotspot of sorts, and they always go around the tree and then go around, flying farther. I'm not sure about what birds these are, but we are going to find out. And look at this one. We have a bunch of things going on here on this thistle. It is quite dramatic. The big blue bee is, I believe, a carpenter bee. They are solitary, and when they fly, they sound like a drone. They're so big. This is, I think, rose chaffer, or I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly. There is a lot of those. One of them got to my t-shirt and didn't want to let go a few minutes ago. And the birds looking at me from the top. They look like they have a conference up there. You know, looking at me from above, judging me, wondering what am I doing here. It's okay, come in peace. I know you don't understand, but the tree is quite old. I wouldn't say it's ancient, but I don't think I would be much off if I say 100, 200 years, maybe a bit more. Let's go see its leaves. Here we go. It's a bit uphill, so not too easy to walk. Here they are. Wonderful tree. Last time when we talked about winter solstice, sun was very low on the horizon. The shadows were long, and now it is almost in the middle of it. This is also the time to think about our ancestors, but also the time to reflect, to be mindful, and to think about our own lives. There are bears and possibly wolves in that forest, but I don't think they're going to come. And that reflection is something I want to talk about today, slowly, no rush, detailed, trying to be not overly self-centered, because I want you to understand me. I want you to be here with me, not to become me, and to have your own line of thoughts and maybe some inspiration. Look at that thing over there. Let's go there, actually, because when I see wolves, I just have to gravitate toward them. They are also snakes. We are going through tall grass. Interestingly, there is a lot of thistle here. I think this is thistle. Look at this. This is one of the peculiar things. So, electricity post, or however it is called professionally. And you can see the vegetation is different beneath this thing. Not entirely. There are still thistles, as you can see here. But other things thrive here, and bumblebees seem to love them. Take a look. This huge tree growing from the type of enclosure, if you wish. I'm sure it is man-made some time ago. It is a collapsed, low, dry wall, very common for these areas. What a nice place to think about the ancestors who built this. There's a reason why many people are drawn to these ancient sites. The more I talk to people, I listen to them, especially the ones who are reflective and mindful. All of them say there's kind of special energy in these places. So what the place that we are standing on right now could easily be a burial ground for all we know. Or it could be something, let's say, less significant, like a collapsed structure, maybe a shepherd's shelter that collapsed, or enclosure for cattle. This whole place is famous for pastoralist lifestyle. So during the summer, people would come here. I stopped for a moment because I heard something moving. Well, this is a famous place for snakes. Not a scary feeling, actually a good feeling. During the summer they would come here with their cattle and they would go back to the lowlands as the winter comes. So you can think they would pack all their cattle things and move from one place to the next. And for that kind of lifestyle, and not only that one, seasonal changes were a major thing. It was important to know what is weather going to be like, when you can expect warmer weather, and things like that. Because your life depended on it. This is likely European beech, so a beech tree. Usually I find oaks in these places. Whoop! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Just slipped on the rock right there. Perfect place to break your ankles. Look. It looks as if it's growing. Actually, there's a couple of trees. It is growing from the rock, or from the piles of rock that was brought up here. You can see up there is a smaller pile, another one. It doesn't have to be, but that is also typical of ancient burial grounds, of the tribes that lived here in prehistory, pre-Roman times. That was their typical practice. This part up there is unusual. It looks like somebody dug out something or it eroded. Let's check it out. There is excrement from the livestock all around. So this place that's quite remote, it pretty much lives the same way like thousands of years ago. So there is no better place to reflect on ourselves and our ancestors. Look. Possibly, I'm not sure, could be some animal tracks. Look, yeah, I think they are. These likely are deer. There is slight difference between boars and deer and the way their trail looks. I cannot really make a difference. This is a paw, so that was a dog maybe, or a small bear. No, it's not a bear, but it is not impossible to find bears here. What happened to this place? It seems it just eroded. Who knows? Look at all these roots. If you think about it, every living thing needs to have some kind of root. Does not have to be, of course, the literal one, because not all of us are plants. But let's say a spiritual root, or whatever term you prefer. Whenever we are in the rush, we really tend to forget what we are. And I had a conversation with one of my colleagues actually quite recently. We were discussing some places we could visit, and she pointed out that if she would have a few months off just in nature, something is moving there, but just hear things, I don't see them. She pointed out that if she could be alone there, with campfires, maybe other people, maybe alone, whatever, without much worry about work or kids or housework. She actually does not know who she is. Can you think about that for a moment? Can we reflect on that? Because that is a very, very scary thing. And how many people, how many of us are living like that? Living whole time not having idea who we are. Sure, we are husbands and wives and partners and sisters, brothers, family members, friends, colleagues. Yeah. We are workers, we are engineers, we are farm workers, we are game developers. Whatever we are. Is that who we are? Is that how you describe yourself? Is that really who you are? What is beneath all of that? I'm far away from being a spiritual leader or shaman or any of sorts. I'm just a person with a camera talking, reflecting for years, sharing observations, asking for other inputs, comments, observing others and observing myself. I don't necessarily have answers, but I have questions. Who we are. Who are you? That is the bad thing about having a bigger brain. This tree does not ask itself who it is. Neither the grass or the flowers or those dead people buried under the stones. As far as I know, maybe they are watching us right now. Hello there. Whichever tribe you were, whoever you were, you know, all of them lived, ate, struggled. They had arguments with their neighbors about property lines. And now they are under the rubble. I don't see it as a depressing thing to say. Don't see it as a dark thing to say. I see it as a part of circle. I have no idea what happens after, but I do not really feel it quite ends. Look at this. What was also common in those times is stealing cattle from other tribes. Of course, there were more atrocious things that were done. And you know what? There are still atrocious things happening all around us. It's in human nature. Unfortunately, it is. Look. So if I was to say one thing, what you should bring with you from this today's talk and walk and reflection, it is something quite simple, but so primal. Something I feel we all miss. The company of others, the community, but also some reflection time and isolation. And also the fire. We're going to make one. You need to light your own fire, whatever that is. Another set of problem, another part of the problem is you not knowing what it is. So you are lighting the fire all your life in the wrong places. This bug is following me again. Well, I assure you I'm not a flower. Does not want to listen. Look at this thing. So clumsy. These are the clumsiest bugs there are in existence. Anyway, you need to Light your own fire. Wow, I went so far away from people. Hey bears! And while the days are getting shorter, I want you to think about this. You need to light it. You need to gather all the resources, all the people you love or appreciate, or yourself only for that matter. And you need, in this time when natural light is coming down, you need to reflect, you need to stop, you need to sit down, and you need to find that light in yourself. So when the night falls, you are figuratively and literally lighting your own fire and making your own light, making time for reflection. Put aside all else as possibly as you can. I understand not everybody has the same life and the same resources and the same. There's a fresh poop here, so I'm just, wondering, is it bear? Never mind. What do you need? What more do you need than this? And your own fire inside you. That is the whole point. And I find motivation and hope in the fact that many others also recognize this, feel this, and understand it. This really could be a burial ground. It really looks like it. That dried tree over there, and the fresh tree, a live one, just behind it. What a nice place to reflect, together with the snakes. There is a raven up there, too far away for me to catch it. Maybe I'll zoom in later. So that is the message. Light your own fire the best way you know. With others, with yourself, however you prefer it. Because there is light, it just changes its sources and the ways of how it is lit. This hilltop looks very interesting to me. I'm going to run there to see what there is and wish you good luck. Because you are not alone in it, in whatever troubles you. And our ancestors, all of their traumas, all of the DNA imprinted information is still with you in every second, in every breath you take. You're never alone. And one day you're going to return to all of that.